Here, driver off the left edge.
From soul-crushing three-putts to championship dreams lost in a single swing, these are the 10 worst golf chokes in history, and trust me, number one still haunts fans to this day.
Playing this cut shot, and this is a strange follow-through.
I mean, that is a frightening follow-through.
Never got above waist high on the follow-through.
At number 9, we have one of the most unbelievable chokes for golf fans. At the 2022 PGA Championship, Mito Pereira was just one hole away from becoming a major champion, just one par away from making history. The crowd was holding their breaths, the cameras were locked in, and millions around the world were watching. Ranked 100th in the world and playing in only his second major, Pereira wasn't supposed to be here. But after 71 holes of fearless, composed golf, he stood on the 18th tee with a one-shot lead. All he needed was a safe shot off the tee, a clean approach, and 2 putts. Then golf reminded us how cruel it can be. Pereira pulled out driver and sent his ball slicing hard right into a narrow creek that barely even registers on most players' radar. It wasn't a dramatic blow-up, but it was enough. He doubled the hole, missed the playoff by a shot, and watched as his shot at immortality drifted downstream. The look on his face afterward wasn't rage or disbelief, it was emptiness. At number 8, we have a short, almost automatic putt, one that juniors make with their eyes closed. But for Lexi Thompson at the 2017 CME Group Tour Championship, that 2-meter became one of the most heartbreaking misses in golf history. Lexi had endured a roller coaster season with triumphs, near misses, and the brutal 4-stroke penalty earlier in the year. Despite the chaos, here she was, standing over the final putt of the season, sink it, and she becomes Player of the Year. She stepped up calm and confident, but then the heartbreak happened. The ball rolled toward the cup, seemed perfectly on line, until it lipped out. Gasps echoed through the crowd. And just like that, it was over. Lexi still walked away with accolades and prize money, but everyone knew the real prize was left sitting 2 feet from the cup.
Didn't get all the way through it. See the club stopping way short into the burn. We'll take a closer look, and he does notice the ball's in the water.
At number 7, it's Jean Van de Velde, the name that has become almost synonymous with golf's most infamous meltdown. It was the 1999 Open Championship at Carnoustie, one of the toughest links courses in the world. And after 71 brutal holes, the unheralded Frenchman stood on the 18th tee with a 3-shot lead. That's a cushion most golfers only dream of. All he needed was a double bogey to win, but instead of playing it safe, Van de Velde pulled out driver. His tee shot flew way to the right, hit a grandstand, and ended up in some thick rough. It was still manageable, but then came the second shot. Instead of playing it safe, he took a risky swing. The ball hit the grandstand again and bounced into even deeper grass. From the rough, Van de Velde tried to reach the green, but Van de Velde took off his shoes, rolled up his pants, and stepped into the water. For a moment, it looked like he was actually going to hit the ball from the stream. He eventually triple bogeyed, lost in a playoff, and the world watched as a major championship slipped through his fingers.
The swing, it doesn't look like he's fully committed to hitting a hard driver. To me, it looks like a softer driver swing, and it's just he lost it left, and as you see, it hits that tent. And as soon as you're over there...
At number 6, we have Phil Mickelson's disastrous 18th hole in the 2006 US Open at Winged Foot. Mickelson held a 1-shot lead and was just 1 par away from his first US Open title. And then it all started to fall apart. Phil decided to hit a driver off the tee, something many people questioned right away. The ball hooked way left, missing the fairway by a long shot and ending up near a hospitality tent. Still, instead of playing it safe, he went for a risky hero shot. It didn't work, and the ball hit a tree and dropped straight down. Now, stuck in thick rough, he tried again but came up short of the green. After a tough chip and 2 putts, he walked off the green with a double bogey. Just like that, his chance to win was gone. One moment it looked like he had the trophy in his hands. Next, he was watching Jeff Ogilvy take it. After the round, Phil summed it up in the most honest way possible. "I am such an idiot."
Now Norman tapping this one in for his par at the second.
At number 5, Greg Norman was on fire after Saturday at the 1996 Masters. He had played nearly perfect golf and held a 6-shot lead going into Sunday. Fans and commentators thought it was finally his time after years of close calls, but it wasn't. Around the very first hole, Norman looked nervous. He bogeyed early, while Nick Faldo, playing in the same group, stayed calm and started making birdies. Slowly, the lead began to shrink. Norman's swing lost its rhythm, and his putts missed by inches. At the 12th hole, he hit into the water. At 15, it happened again. The lead was gone now. By the time they reached the 18th, Faldo was ahead by 5 shots. Norman finished with a shocking 78, 11 shots worse than his Saturday round. Faldo, who shot a smooth 67, won the tournament. After it ended, Faldo hugged Norman, a rare emotional moment. But the heartbreak on Greg's face said it all.
Upward spiral. His 5th shot finally finds the surface.
At number 4, we have Rory McIlroy's most haunting memory at Augusta. He was just 21 years old at the 2011 Masters, and he was leading after 3 rounds. His calm attitude made it look like he was ready to win his first major. But on Sunday, everything unraveled in just 4 holes. He started the final round strong, but things began to fall apart on the 10th hole. A wild tee shot went deep into the trees. He tried to punch out, but the ball hit a branch and barely moved. The next shot found a bunker. He triple bogeyed the hole. Suddenly, his lead was gone. Then came the 11th, another missed fairway and a bogey. At 12, he pulled his tee shot into the water and double bogey. And on 13, he 4-putted for another bogey. Just like that, in the span of 4 holes, Rory went from leading the Masters to being completely out of contention. He finished the round with an 80. Watching it unfold was painful, especially for a player with so much promise.
5-year-old Martin Keimer, who rose to the occasion, pulling a 15-footer on 18 in regulation to join Bubba Watson in extra holes. Bubba's troubles on 8.
Number 3, we have the 2010 U.S. Open final round at Pebble Beach. Dustin Johnson looked unstoppable with a 3-shot lead. Everyone expected him to finally break through and win his first major. But what followed was a disaster that felt like watching a dream slip away. On the very first hole, DJ tried to hit a bold flop shot near the green. Instead, he flubbed it completely. Then he chunked the next shot and took a triple bogey. Just like that, his lead vanished. Then came hole 2 with a wild tee shot into the rough, followed by a messy bogey, and on the 3rd hole, another bogey. 3 holes in, he was 4 over for the day. He finished the round with an ugly 82. What was supposed to be his crowning moment became a repeat of past heartbreaks. Fans couldn't help but feel Dustin Johnson.
You know, the last few holes, you got to keep it together. I played amazing. I was swinging it very well.
At number 2, we have Thomas Bjorn's disaster at the 2003 Open Championship. He had played a near-perfect round and held a solid lead. All he had to do was hold steady, but golf is a cruel game. On the 15th hole, Bjorn made a simple bogey. Then came the 16th, a par 3 with a deep bunker guarding the green. Bjorn's tee shot landed right in it. What followed was pure agony. He needed 3 tries to get out. Each swing sprayed sand, but barely moved the ball. By the time he tapped in, it was a double bogey. On 17, another bogey, and just like that, he had gone from leader to chaser. Meanwhile, Ben Curtis stayed calm and finished strong. He held on to win the championship by 1 shot. Bjorn's collapse was heartbreaking. It wasn't a complete blow-up, but it was death by 1,000 cuts. Even today, when people talk about golf's biggest chokes, this one always makes the list.
Right into Race Creek.
He's getting up.
He swings again.
Oh my goodness.
At number 1, we have one of the most dramatic chokes in golf history. Jordan Spieth was in complete control at the 2016 Masters. He had won the year before and was leading by 5 shots with just 9 holes to go. At 22, he was already being talked about as the next all-time great. Then he reached the par 3 12th hole, and history changed. His tee shot found the water. The crowd gasped, and everyone thought it was recoverable. Just take the penalty and move on. But then disaster happened. His next shot also found the water. Spieth chunked a 3rd shot into the bunker, and by the time he was done, he had carded a quadruple bogey viola. Leading comfortably, he had suddenly lost the Masters in a matter of minutes. The collapse was brutal and shocking. While Spieth faced the media with grace, you could tell it hurt. The 12th hole at Augusta has claimed many players over the years, but no meltdown was more dramatic or more painful to watch than Spieth's. So, which of these meltdowns had you screaming at the screen? I would like to hear from you. Let me know in the comments.